The South African government is calling for the rule of law to be restored in Afghanistan. Thousands of people have tried to leave after the Taliban swept to power, taking control of the capital Kabul and forcing the president to flee. The South African government is calling on all parties to engage in talks to bring about peace to the war-torn country. The International Relations Department says it's been in contact with stranded South Africans through its High Commission in neighboring Pakistan. Well, let's take you then to the South African ambassador to Pakistan and Afghanistan, who's joining us live from Islamabad in Pakistan tonight. Mtutuzeli Madikiza. Good evening to you, and thank you so much for your time. Firstly, just begin by painting a picture for us of the situation on the ground. What are some of the reports that you, as the mission to Pakistan and Afghanistan, have been receiving?
Good evening, Kathy, once again, and good evening to the listeners. Well, the situation is quite fluid, to say the least. And it's not very clear at this stage as to what tomorrow has for Afghanistan people and South Africans in particular who are there. However, we are in touch with all of them. And the last we heard from them today, about 3 hours ago, those that are still there, others have left. The situation is that they are feeling quite calm and really ready to wait it out and see what happens. One group in particular, group of 4, was visited by Taliban. As they are busy, the Taliban is busy with securing the city. And they report that the Taliban was very polite, and they asked them for documents and car registration, phone numbers, and so on. But that act itself calmed them down. As we are watching from this side, it does look like Taliban so far really tries to exercise restraint. And of course, you might have just heard about an interview of the leadership of Taliban just a few to an hour minutes ago. So we are really still waiting. And we think it looks like it's going to be like that for the foreseeable future.
In terms of the reports that you have, how many South Africans are in Afghanistan currently?
Well, it's very hard to know, but I will tell you just what those that have contacted us. First of all, the remaining ones now is 2 groups of 4 contractors and that are in touch with us. These are the people I spoke about earlier on, who are saying, well, wait, we will let you know when we need your help. We are also monitoring the situation, of course, from here through contacts. But there is another 3, a group of 3 that whose names were sent from head office, DECO head office. I guess what had happened is that the relatives then informed head office of DECO, but they have not contacted us yet, and we are not able to reach them. Well, so we are waiting.
So if I understand you correctly, of those that you have been able to make contact with, there are no South Africans that are immediately seeking help to be evacuated out of Afghanistan.
Of course, there are. Those that have done so have left. And others, of course, another group of 16, by the way, I beg your pardon, a group of 16 asked for our help on Monday, yesterday. And while we were busy with that, they came back to say, look, we think we are quite fine. So we will continue and we'll let you know. That's now the bigger number. It's one group working for one company, a South African company.
So as it stands, how many South Africans have left or fled Afghanistan with the assistance of the mission?
Well, it is five, actually, to be exact. 5.
And what did they say to you about the kind of threat that they were under, or even why they were leaving?
Well, everybody was scared in Afghanistan, including the Afghans themselves, of what might happen as Taliban was surrounding the capital. So as soon as we got their calls, we managed to help them through liaison with the government that was still in place at that time, the former government officials of Afghanistan. We also contacted our counterparts, embassies of those countries that were evacuating people. Some have helped in that group of 5.
The situation has deteriorated quite rapidly in as far as the ability to travel in and out of Afghanistan is concerned, where you have, the main airlines cancelling flights to Afghanistan. You've got what is some form of lacuna in government with the president having fled. So as the mission in South Africa, who are you currently in communication with to also ensure the safety of South African citizens that are still in Afghanistan? And if you needed to negotiate for them to be able to leave that country, who would you be making those plans with?
We hope we'll be able to strike contact with the Taliban group, which is not a government yet. But as I said earlier on, we are also in touch with my counterparts, ambassadors, who are evacuating their own people. Also, what we have, an opportunity we have, is that the Pakistani government has offered to assist all diplomats and other people, other nationalities who might want to evacuate. They actually gave us this information last Friday before the actual takeover. And of course, they've made special arrangements for visas as well, which is very good for everybody. Special visa arrangements as well. So we will rely for now on those contacts we have on the ground, embassies that are still in place. We are always able to share and contact each other.
So if I understand you correctly, Mr. Madikiza, at this point, the South Africans that are still in Afghanistan, you are not necessarily actively working to bring them out of that country?
On account of their request, yes.
Let's talk about the broader risks. You are tonight sitting in Islamabad in Pakistan. Have you begun to weigh up what these latest changes in Afghanistan would mean even for Pakistan?
Well, I do not. Yes, I think we are busy with that. But so far, we are not seeing anything that might be untoward in terms of the relationship between the two countries, Pakistan and Afghanistan. As I said earlier on, the Pakistani embassy is still there, busy organizing visas for anyone who wants to leave, including Afghans themselves, who wants to leave via Pakistan. So, and of course, there's constant consultation between Pakistan government. Even today, there was such a consultation by way of a meeting here in Islamabad with Afghanis leadership. So we hope.
Sure, go ahead. Apologies, go ahead.
So we hope that we'll keep the situation really calm and maybe much more secure for everyone.
So is that the approach that the South African mission is taking right now?
Yes, we have no other way. Remember, we are a mission in Islamabad, we don't have a mission as such in Afghanistan. I am a non-resident ambassador to Afghanistan. So, you know, when everybody left government, we couldn't have contact with those previous people. In any case, they wouldn't be of help unless it is true that they will be coming back to offices as it has been announced in the news and also by the Taliban itself, that those officials are allowed to get to work again. So we will be able to continue with the contacts we have, especially with those that were in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs protocol.
Let me thank you so much.
These were helpful until an hour before. These were helpful until an hour before the fall of Kabul itself.
Sure. Thank you so much for your time tonight. The South African ambassador to Pakistan and Afghanistan, Mtutuzeli Matikiza, giving us a